background stuff on them.
Good evening. Welcome to the Danvers Conservation Commission meeting for July 25th, 2024. We as a commission operate under the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Chapter 26 of the Town of Danvers General Bylaw, the Wetlands Protection Bylaw. After each applicant presents his or her request and the board has had time to ask questions and discuss the project, we will accept questions from the audience. Because this is a public meeting, it is required by law that you give your name and address before you speak. Although we may disagree on the issues raised, all persons present during this meeting are expected to be civil to all other meeting attendees. This includes members of the commission, staff, abutters, concerned citizens, property owners, and project applicants. We also request that you confine your questions to the project and only as it pertains to the Wetlands Act. We cannot handle, nor do we have jurisdiction over matters such as noise or traffic. All problems not related to the Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Danvers Wetlands Protection Bylaw must be taken up with the other appropriate boards. Our first order of business will be a roll call. Peter Wilson is present. Lorraine Drapek.
Present.
Jonathan Garis.
Present.
Mary Haight.
Present.
Michael Splain.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the full board here. The first order on our agenda is for 367 Maple Street, a partial certificate of compliance. The DEP file number is 14-1391. The applicant is National Veterinary Associates. Is anyone here to represent the applicant?
Yes.
I am Caitlin White from Hancock Associates.
Can't hear.
One sec, Caitlin. It's very hard to hear you. Just give us one quick minute.
Okay.
Thanks. What was that?
Caitlin, can you just say something real quick? Anything?
Hi.
Hi. So it looks like it's just coming through the computer and not the speakers.
We run into a lot of issues of not hearing people on that.
That's why it's
Huh?
better in person, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, just another minute, Caitlin.
I'm pretty sure it is Teams.
Doesn't help that we're getting older, at least for me. Like, it's not working.
Is that too, huh?
Although, you know, at the end of my working time, that's when we started using Teams a lot. I liked it. Yeah.
All right, Caitlin, can you say something?
Can you hear me now?
Because everyone was working remotely, so you could just video chat with people. You know, meetings might be a little different, but
One sec.
this is Caitlin White.
When this happens, Emily, is it possible for them to just call in?
It's the problem is just that we can hear it through the computer. It's just not coming through the entire speaker. So
Yeah.
it's not the Teams problem. It's the streaming problem.
I see.
You see the
You,
cabin cruiser star.
yeah?
They're opening that parking lot for the passport next week.
Yeah, me and my wife.
August 6th. Yeah.
On the weekends,
We
we
got
take
to-
it somewhere and just spend the weekend.
Can you sleep on the boat?
All right, Caitlin, can you try one more time?
All the time.
Can you hear
How
me now?
cool.
It's kind of like ocean. No, it
Does the
doesn't.
dog like the boat?
Not really.
Yeah. Does he jump
Oh,
off
we're
in
going
the
on our
water?
trip this fall, I think. We're all going to go from there.
Yeah.
Because it's like at least 10 or
I
12
know,
of us.
it's a mix of Border Collie, Australian Shepherd, Lab, Chow Chow.
We're going on a river.
He's like 7 different dogs.
Can you?
Good, makes you 50
High energy,
pounds.
but
High
it's gonna
energy,
make
but
the
he's
oil
sweet.
last,
Yeah,
raise
oh,
it
yeah,
on
loves
sand.
everybody.
All right, try
Hi, Caitlin.
one more time, Caitlin.
Can you hear me now?
It's better. We can barely
better.
hear you, though. It's obviously nothing you're doing, Caitlin.
Speak up. Yeah.
Can I share my screen? I can show you the plan and try and talk it through.
One second, I'm gonna try a couple more things.
No, Seattle. Yeah, she's here. They're here this week.
Sounds like a
They're all
soundtrack to it.
Well,
Yeah, he's
can't we go, Mr. Chairman, can't we go to the second item while they're fixing that? Is there somebody in
Yeah.
person here?
Yeah, you can go to the second item. Oh, sorry.
Let's do that.
Why don't we do that?
Peter's
Yeah.
decision.
All right, so we're just going to move on to the second item on the agenda because it's pretty simple. The notice of intent for 500 Maple Street, DEP file number 14-1422. The applicant is Arthur Marcori. The applicant has requested to continue to August 22nd. So if someone can make a motion, we'll continue that public hearing until then.
And I'll make a motion that we continue the notice of intent for 500 Maple Street, DEP file number 14-1422, to our next scheduled hearing of August 22nd. Is that the next one?
Yeah,
Yes, we're not.
we're not doing the 8th.
August 22nd.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's done.
Quick question on that. Are they, so they're working on with their consultant on a wetland enhancement restoration
Right,
plan like we
they're gonna come to us with a proposal.
Okay.
How about old new business?
Yes, we move to old and new business?
We can try Caitlin one more time, and then go from there.
Okay.
All right, Caitlin, fifth time's a charm.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear her through your mic, through your,
No, I don't have any volume. I can barely hear her. I just don't know where it's even coming from, but it's so low. But yes, I can hear her.
I'm just gonna suggest you put your microphone in front of your computer.
Yeah,
That's how you get the feedback.
get
Yeah,
the feedback.
that's
Do you have a
it.
speaker on there that'll
Yeah,
allow-
but it's off.
Huh?
Yes, but it's off. It's not coming through my computer. It's coming through somewhere
Oh.
else.
Well, what was Caitlin gonna tell us? Is she gonna give us an overview of the project and where we're looking for?
Yeah, so, Caitlin, why don't you throw up the plan of the, for the partial certificate of compliance, or
Maybe,
completion?
maybe you and Emily,
Yeah,
We went out to the site, yeah.
Yeah.
the staff's been out there. so-
Yeah, yeah.
So as I recall, this project, they wanted to do some building out in back, is that right? And then in front, they were gonna have a parking lot?
So this was going to be the tear down of a garage, correct, Caitlin? And this was one parcel. It was a veterinary hospital and a residential home. They went through the planning board in order to do an A&R to split the lot. So because for obvious reasons, they were trying to split apart this, to sell each the veterinary hospital as one parcel and the residential units as a completely different parcel. There was an order of conditions that was recorded for the whole property, but in cutting off this portion of the property, there's actually no work being done on this portion that they're trying to close off. So they're just trying to close off the portion that there's actually no work that was performed on. I don't know if Emily, you wanted to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the area that was sectioned off with the A&R is outside of our jurisdictional boundary.
And if I look at that drawing, that is the lower left corner?
Correct. That whole red box that Caitlin is outlining for us, that's the portion that we're going to be trying to close out.
Okay, and everything else, the green is the 35 red is 50 and then
Well,
the yellow?
the green is the wetland, correct, Caitlin?
Yes.
Yeah, so the green is the wetland, and the riverfront area starts with the blue that says 200, and then it looks like it goes, the red is 35, the orange is 50, the yellow is 100. There you go, so, the portion that's within the red box to the left is not in the Conservation Commission's jurisdiction, so they're basically trying to erase that portion from the order of conditions because it's not part of any project.
Okay, is there any work being done out there?
Not
Outside
at the moment.
No.
And I heard you mention the riverfront. Does the riverfront have a 200-foot limit? Or is it just?
So
Can you
Caitlin's
show the
highlighting it.
200?
So the blue is the 200 that's the 200 right there. So that's the solid blue is 200 feet from the dashed blue.
On the riverfront's way up front.
Yep, from the right side. And then the green area is the wetlands, and that's why the jurisdiction is 100 feet off of that green line, which is the yellow line. So that you can see that the red box to the left of that is outside of the 100 and the 200.
Where's the 100 coming off of?
The 100's coming off of the green wetland, the green line.
All right,
So
and where's the 200 coming off of?
The blue solid is coming off
Back there.
200 from the
That's the
dotted,
Okay.
dotted blue.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Okay, so I mean, it's really
it's,
not within our jurisdiction. It was just lumped into the project.
Yeah, they're just trying to basically sell the piece of land, close out that condition because, so they can sell it with, free
Is
and
that
clear.
selling with the residential part, or?
Exactly.
All right, that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions? Mike?
no.
Jonathan?
Nope.
Seems pretty straightforward. Lorraine?
No questions.
Mary?
No, thank you.
And this is not a public hearing, right?
No, but you do have the right to hold, to have anyone speak, to have public comment, but you are
Is
correct.
there any members of the public that have comments or questions? No?
Yeah, it was Mr. Bradstreet tonight.
Who's Mr. Bradstreet when you need him? Okay, if someone can make a motion, let's give these people a certificate of compliance.
I'll make a motion to issue a partial certificate of compliance for 367 Maple Street, DEP number 14-1391, parcel ID 025-024.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's all set. Older new business, you folks have anything?
Maybe an update, we could, an update about 367, or not 367, the Andover Street, or the peer review.
Oh, yes. 348
348,
Andover
yep.
Street for the ANRAD peer review. That's in the works. We're working with DeRosa Consulting, and that should be all set for the August 22nd meeting. We should
Sure,
be
be on
that
the
date to have that
agenda
ready.
Okay. One question that I had, that I mentioned to you the other day, Emily, we had a couple instances where we had a bond posted, and I just wanted to know if there's any tracking mechanism on those, and
Yes.
how does that work?
So I did start looking into those after you and I had spoken. I'm going to work with Brian Cassidy. He's our planning technician, and we're going to come up with a process for tracking those bonds, and then also tracking open orders that are near expiration or that have already expired, and also a tighter system for tracking violations so that we can make sure that for enforcement orders, we're following through on our end and making sure that everything is happening as it
Okay.
should be. So.
And then one other thing that we had talked about the other day was, I think it was Cortland Road, 5 Cortland Road?
Yes, so
Right.
since that has a superseding order of conditions, that's being handled all right through Mass DEP, so any questions or anything about that project would have to go
So
right
that's
to
up to them to make a decision now then? right?
Yes, yeah, that's.
So
they-
we've been directing, so any queries, anything, we've been directed because we've been directed to do so, we're directing all inquiries back to DEP. We're not supposed to be fielding questions, answering questions. DEP does not want, when there's a superseding order, they don't want the local municipality kind of involved.
All right,
Time with me.
I wanted to bring something up. So we have a couple new members, and I had brought this up before. Should we consider maybe having some workshops on how the regs work, when we grant a waiver, those sorts of things, what it means to be in or out of the 100 versus the 200?
Yeah, we could
I
definitely
think it
do
would be
that.
helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think when we did that in the past, we just met a half hour before a meeting, something like that, maybe an hour before the meeting.
Yeah, maybe an hour before the meeting, yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
definitely arrange that.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
Okay. And one final question I had, as I drive down Route 1, I saw that Home Depot cleared out all the vegetation around their retention pond.
Oh,
Is there any regulations around that? Is that something we should be concerned with?
Well, that's not a wetland, is it, a detention pond?
So this is the first I'm hearing
Same.
hearing this. So my guess is there's some type of management plan for that drainage pond, or detention pond. So what I would first do is to see, is there some type of operation and maintenance plan that was part of either an order of conditions or the building permit? You know, there's probably something governing how to do that. So I would have to, or we would look into
we'll
that.
definitely look into that.
But
Building has
first
probably
I've heard
been
of
there
this.
15, 20 years, and it's all grown in, and just within a week, now it's all just brown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we will definitely look into that.
Yeah.
Am I right about that, though? Detention ponds are not wetlands anymore.
Well, they certainly are performing a function. Whether or not they're protected has to do with the maintenance plan, but no, those are not, they're not wetlands. It's a detention, a detention
If someone
basin.
digs a hole and makes a retention pond to capture runoff,
Yeah.
and we approve it, that doesn't necessarily make it a wetland.
No, I think over time, though, if a whole bunch of wetlands plantings end up just naturally occurring there and it looks and smells and feels like a wetland, it's going to be pretty hard for someone
No.
to say that this is not performing some type of
Another
ecological
workshop
function.
issue.
Yes.
Yeah, could you just look
Absolutely.
into that? I just curious, I just drove by the other day and noticed.
No, that's certainly worthy of looking into.
Yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
All right, anything else? No?
I think
No.
that's it.
All right, someone make a motion.
I'll move we adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank
I'm
you
off
all.
to
Good
the-
night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.